Whew, that was some good stuff, right? So this is part two of What's the 411. Thank you guys for joining. If you are just joining us now, make sure you go back and watch the replay of part one. We are talking to Clairmont Humphries of SPR Live FM. Okay, and we're about to finish our conversation. So make sure you guys keep it locked right here. All right. I can't see you.
I'm not sure why I'm not in yet, but can you hear me?
I could hear you, but I can't see you. This is the same thing that happened to me last week. I don't know why.
Let me see if I
Okay,
do this.
I'm gonna
No,
end it with you, and then you're gonna. Oh, there you are. Okay, yeah. So just try to come back in. Yes. So thank you guys for joining me again. This is part two of our show for today. Let's see. This was doing the same thing last week, so we're hoping that it works this week properly. Let's see.
no,
I don't know what's happening. No.
they
Okay, you
probably
know
don't.
what I'm gonna.
What are you
Sorry?
gonna do? They probably don't want me to come on again and say he's talking too much.
I know you're talking too much truth. Too
Yeah,
much truth. Okay, so we'll still talk anyways, regardless that
right,
we
no
can't
problem.
see.
It
It's
probably come up
unfortunate,
eventually.
but yeah, hopefully it will. So let's talk about what's going on right now with the COVID-19 situation. How are you handling that?
Um, I'm one of what you call the essential services,
Okay.
so I was always out. I was always I worked in Pure, so I was always out there delivering packages from here, there, and everywhere. So that didn't deter me. And one of the things I learned for myself, my positive thinking. Now, I had a family member that lives in the States that had COVID-19, and they told me how terrible it was. And they said that if they had to choose between that and death, they would choose death. It was so painful. It was that bad for them. And I thought that was their experience until I spoke to my friend who lives in England, who told me, she says, my dear, I had the COVID. I thought I was going to die. And I said, really? She says, absolutely. It was horrible. I was like, wow. I said, we need to talk on my show. She said, absolutely. Let's talk. So I brought her in and she said, I was praying to die, but there were folks around me who was praying life back into me. So in so doing, she spoke about how painful it was. She says the very sheet itself that was touching my skin was painful. She says, I just wanted to die. She said, I had enough. She said, God, just take me. Don't let me suffer like this. Just take me. And eventually, she was restored. But one of the things that both my family member who talked about COVID talked about the same, you probably would have seen it, the same concoction that everybody is sharing out that came from the West Indian background with the lemon, the onions, the garlic, the turmeric, what else was in there, the green leaf tea and all this different stuff, the honey and all kind of stuff. That
Yeah.
is what they said that helped them to overcome this COVID thing. Now, I've listened to many different narratives and arguments. I've listened to many different commentaries, and most of them would say that it's like SARS or like a bad flu that mutated into what this is right now. And over a period of 2 to 3 years, it will die down. Something else will come up.
Hmm.
My thought was, Father, in this time when the world seems to be in total chaos and concern about getting this so-called COVID-19, I know you'll protect me. So I believe that God was going to protect me. I never wore gloves. I never wore a mask. I believe that God has strengthened my body to withstand anything that was coming into it. And that's what I believed in. And I carried that belief every day I walked out of this house. That's how I handle it.
Yeah, belief is serious because without belief, you have a lot of fear. And
Right.
fear is it's what cripples a lot of people.
Correct. Correct.
Mm.
So that's yeah, and you know, when I was delivering, this was the most ridiculous things I've seen. I've seen some of the most ridiculous things ever. While delivering packages to people at their homes, they will say to me, "Just put the package down in front of the door. No problem. I'll put the package and walk away." Because that's what we're told to do. When I walk away, they will pick up the same package and take it into their homes.
Mhm.
I'm thinking, well, no, that doesn't make no sense. If you're so concerned about getting COVID from me, COVID would be on the box. You just took the COVID into your house. How does that make any sense? Now, had you dismantled the box outside with gloves and the whole 9 yards, put it in the bag, seal it, and put it in the garbage, I could understand that. But you just took the one woman had one side gloves on. She grabbed the box from me, holding it from a distance, grabbed it from me, and fighting to put on the gloves on her left hand in the meantime while bracing the whole box on her chest. So I said to her, "What are you doing?" And she said to me, "Well, I'm trying to put on a glove. I'm trying to stay safe." I says, "You already rest the entire thing on your chest." And she said to me, "Well, I'm going to take my clothes off when I get inside." It says, "And you're going to take your clothes off inside when you're already in the house." So fear mixed with confusion, mixed with being not well educated of what this thing is all about, and trying to stay safe has created a frenzy for a lot of people, and therefore a lot of confused people who are around the place not knowing exactly what to do. And this is how I saw it out there almost every day. I was standing on a sidewalk, and a woman is 10 feet away from me, and, "Excuse me." And I look up at her, she says, "I'm trying to pass." I said, "Then walk by. I'm on the street. Just walk by. You're not going to catch COVID from me if you pass me. Like, what's wrong with you?" And you see, this is what happened. You create a scare, and people who are not knowledgeable about stuff, all they're quick to jump in. And then the mask came out, and then the gloves came out, and people holding everything with your gloves, holding your phone, holding your bag, holding your car. And I'm thinking, what are you doing? If there is such a thing that COVID is sitting everywhere, you're now sitting in a cesspool of COVID and you're taking it right into your house. Lack of knowledge. People perish.
It's a fear. You see how fear can spread too, because once one person starts to do something, then you see another person doing something, the same exact thing that that person's doing, just because they think it might be right, and it can get really hectic out here.
Very true.
The
Very
things that
true.
you see
Very true.
people doing, it can get very, very crazy. Yeah. Here you go. Here you go. Okay, so, well, tell us how we can tune in. Tell us how we get a hold of your radio station.
There's several different ways you can. If you go to tunein.com, you can look for Streaming Praise Radio there. If you go to our webpage, which is SPRLIVEFM.com, you'll find us there as well. You can log on to the click to listen live. Also, if you have whether you have an iPhone or an Android, you also can click on the Android and search for SPR Live. Same thing you can do on iPhones and SPR Live, and you'll find us there. You'll find us anywhere. You just Google Streaming Praise Radio, we come up. We'll show up. Okay. And you can connect with us and listen to any of the programs that we have. We're trying to revamp our website. It's a little crazy right now, but we're trying to revamp that to make it look a little bit more pleasing to the eye.
Okay, and so do you guys have anything coming up?
Yeah, actually, we have a series, like tomorrow I have an interview to do. And then with someone, I think it's from the States, I'm not sure, DJ Analyst is the one that produces all my shows, so he's going to let me know who it is that I'm actually interviewing tomorrow. I'm going to look forward to see, because everything is going to pop in tonight. And for the rest of the month, we're going to try to do what we call 20 in 2020, which means 20 things we're going to try to do within a period of time, including by the end of this month, hopefully into next month, we'll have what we call an online concerts with all the artists from around the world to come on a platform where we can see them one after the other, performing for either 10 or 20 minutes, or two people in 10 to make it 20. So we have 20 in 2020. So we're looking forward to doing that, hopefully by the end of the month. Probably going to spill over into July for a little bit too. So that's coming up as we continue to plan and make it happening. Because we were planning a big concert, and never, COVID shut us down. And I says, okay, God, what's this? He says, hey, you're online. Do things online. That's okay. So we're going to shift back to what we do best. And hopefully for the new year coming up, we'll not only be radio, but also do the TV part. But we've been trying that out for the last 5 or 6 years. We tested different platforms. We haven't settled on one yet, but we eventually find one that we can actually use and settle on that permanently.
Okay. And so you get the last word. Do you have any shout outs or anything that you want to?
I want to make a recognition to something that is very dear to me and important to me. I'm a liver donor. I believe in organ and tissue transplant. I'm also connected to an organization. It's called Step by Step. George Marcello is the president of that one. He's the founder and president of it. And I remember when I decided that I was going to donate a piece of my liver to a baby girl who is the grandniece of my ex-wife and the cousins to my 3 older ones. He heard about me and we communicated, and he says, this is important. And he said, this is huge. He says, you're the first Black male to donate a piece of a liver to a non-family member. I'm like, really? Is that big of a deal? He said, yes, it's big of a deal. He says, people don't do that, not even for their own families. And he says, and especially within the Black community, and it's so true. I find in the Black community, you talk about donation of a body part and everybody goes up in flames. And you talk about, even if you die, to let your body parts go for people say, no, I want to be buried in everything. I'm saying to you today, hey, heaven knows they don't need our body parts. So let's put it to some earthly good and some earthly use. So if you sign your donor card and say, hey, I'm willing to give my body parts when I die, they don't let you die so they can have your body parts. That is not true, especially in Canada. They want to let you die. They do everything to save your life, because I worked in the hospital. I know how they do this stuff. But yet at the same time, it's a good thing to help those that are suffering. That girl, she was 14 months at the time. Today, I think she's going to be 13 this year, and she's doing fantastic. A beautiful young lady, and I did an interview with her too. From time to time, she has to go in for a little treatment here and there, but she's doing fantastic. And I also know that over a period of time, not everybody, but some people will stop using the anti-rejection drugs that helps them, as they can, the liver or the whatever organ it is, their body get used to it and says, okay, this is ours, we can keep it. In the meantime, she's still on anti-rejection drugs to make sure she's doing well. So I'm a big fan, a big supporter of that. A fan of it too, because I see what it has done. And again, I am not just an advocate for it, I'm also a donor.
Okay. All right. That's wonderful. And do you have anything like a motivational or inspirational quote that you would like to share with others that you kind of use, maybe not every single day, but something that you always refer back to?
I think it's Proverbs chapter 3, verses 6 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. That is an absolute, infallible truth.
Wow. Geez, I just want to thank you so much for, first of all, accepting my request to come on
Not a
and to be
problem.
interviewed. This was a wonderful piece of, an hour plus that you just gave us so much inspiration and
Thank you.
motivation by sharing your own story, but just by allowing us to see the significance of, the word in our lives
Mm-hmm.
and holding on to, the teaching that we all know, whether we believe in God or whatever it is that people believe in. It's important to know that there is something greater than us out there. So I just want
Amen.
to thank, I just want
And,
to
and
thank you
and
very
not to worry
much.
about Black Lives Matter. We will survive. It does matter.
Oh, for sure. Yes,
We will
100%.
survive. We will survive.
Yeah. We always have survived,
Hey,
so we're not going to
we're
stop
the
now.
mothers and fathers of the earth, as the woman said. I don't remember her name. I think it's Dorez or something like that. She is just the lightest shade of black, but that they called white. And I says,
Okay.
amen to that.
100%, 100%. So, again, I just want to thank you. I appreciate you taking your time out to come out and speak to me and to drop these gems on the masses. So, check out the replay and send it out to all of your fans.
I
And
certainly
I
will.
appreciate, yeah, I appreciate being the first person to really get in deep on an interview. But I look forward to hearing more on your radio station.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'll always enjoy your posts. So don't forget, we're waiting every morning
I
to see
will.
those.
I will. Thank
All
you so
right.
much for having me. Thank you so much for doing this interview. I enjoyed my time here with you, and I'm looking forward
Awesome.
to having you on my program.
Oh, for sure. Anytime, you just let me know, and
I
I'm there.
certainly will. You'll get a when you see it says DJ analyst sending you a hit up for an interview. That's me. That's my
Okay.
producers contacting you.
Same. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Alrighty then.
All right. Take care of your
Awesome.
grandbaby. Okay. Congratulations again on the new addition to your family.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Have
All right.
yourself a good night. Okay.
You too. God
Okay.
bless. Bye
Bye.
bye. Grace and peace. Bye bye.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, guys, that was awesome, right? Wow, we just got blessed. We got blessed. So I just want to obviously thank Clairmont Humphrey for coming on and just sharing all that information with us. There was so much that we could take away from this interview. So I want to encourage you, if you're just watching this right now, you got to go back and rewatch it because that's what I do with all my interviews anyways. I love to rewatch them because as I'm taking the information in, I'm doing a lot of writing down. I write things down, but there's always things that I miss. You know what I mean? Writing it down because I'm just taking in. You can't write everything. You cannot write everything. So I just want to thank you all for joining the conversation. Make sure you share this live video with all of your friends and your family members. Put it up, put it out there. And if you know anybody that is interested in having an interview, you personally have a wonderful story you'd like to share that you feel would be inspirational or motivational to the masses of people, I believe on What's the 411 we could all learn from each other. I started this show. It really wasn't even my idea to do. I got placed in this position. Somebody gave me the idea of doing interviews, and I feel as though this is just, I love it. I love it so much. So I just want to encourage everybody to get out there and step into your greatness, okay? Step into whatever it is you feel like. Sometimes you don't even know what's coming, but just do it. Do whatever your calling is. You know, if something's calling you in this direction, go because you don't know where it's going to lead you. I absolutely had no idea that. I'll tell you how it all started with my blog. I just started writing some stuff on my blog, and then I was sending it out to random people, and then a girl hit me up and she was like, "What are you doing with this blog? You know, you should. I know this guy who runs a radio station. Maybe you want to go get on the radio. I could ask him if he's got a spot for you." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, okay, that would be great. Thank you very much." And shout out to Vita from Eyelash Vita. If you guys need to get your makeup or anything done, eyelashes, whatever, she could hook you up. She's the one that set me up, and then she set me up with Unity FM. So for a while, I was behind the scenes. You know, nobody could see my face. I was sometimes doing a live video, but most of the time I was just on the radio doing my show Mondays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then um, I just decided to do the interviews. I was with my co-host, and she was like, we should just do interviews. And I'm like, okay, let's start doing interviews. And it's been a year plus doing these interviews, and I absolutely am so appreciative and so grateful to everybody who's logged on, listened to my interviews, and all of the interviewees who've come on and shared their experience and their journey with me. So I just want to share my gratitude with you. I want to thank you guys for popping on. And today was our first of the week. Tomorrow we're going to have another interview, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.